Hello everyone and welcome to this video on integrating Power BI with other applications. I am Tim Weinzaffel and I am doing videos showing how you can use Power BI but integrate it with other applications like SharePoint and Teams and Power Automate and Power Apps. This is episode 7. What I want to do in this episode is show how you can send automated emails using Power Automate directly from your Power BI report and also pull in some of the data that is in your report so you can actually send in like dynamically created emails. So let me give a quick example and show what I mean by sending automated email. So I've got a sample report up here, and I'm actually in the Power BI service, so I've got this published. And let's say this is data of projects, and I have the project title, the project manager, and these are just some fake emails. Let's say I wanted to send emails to this list to get an update. So let's say every week I send a standard email to the project manager and I want an update on the project. Now, what I've got here is I've got a button up here, and I've got a Power Automate flow built into this report. So all I have to do now, I can select individuals, but I'm going to leave this table as is. And I'm going to go ahead and push the button here. And what it's doing is it's going to send an email. I have it actually set to send to me rather than going to all of these fake emails. So just assume that all of these emails that are coming in would go to the project manager. So I'm going to jump over to my email, and you'll see all of a sudden I've got lots of emails in here. So I've got a project here, and it'll say, the person's name, please provide an update for the project. And then I've embedded in this example just like what the email address would be, just to show that. And you'll see for each one, it's the same standard email, but what you're seeing changed is the name, the project, the project name, and I've even got this bolded, and so on. So I can scroll through here, and it's gone through and sent all of these out. And all of this was done in Power Automate. So in this video, I'm going to show how you can easily and quickly put together a flow and do this. Now, what I am going to say, though, is I will also show a couple of things to be aware of when you are doing this. And I will explain that as I get into the examples. All right, so I've moved over to Power BI Desktop. Let's go ahead and create this. What I've did is I just took here's the original page I had. I've just duplicated it and I removed the button. So there's the button, it's been removed. To add the button, it's very easy. Go to your visualization pane. You'll see it's very standard. It's a standard visual here. And you'll click on it and it'll pull up, and it will actually give you some instructions. So, and it's pretty straightforward. You add the fields that you need in your flow, and I'm going to go through those here in a second. Then you set up your flow, and then you apply it, and then you will reformat it. Now, when you don't have a flow assigned to your button, you're going to get this information. Once you assign a flow to it, it will hide this and actually give it an appearance, and you will see that. So let me go ahead and make this button the size we want. Now, first step, again, we need to add the fields that we want. Now, what this is this is the data that you're passing to your flow that you want to use it. So in my case, I want to know the name of the project. I want to know the project manager's name, and I want their email address. And those are the 3 fields I want. I could certainly add more fields, but I'm only going to use those 3 in my flow. So let's add them over here. So again, it's in the order that you add this does not matter. So I'm going to add the full name. I'm going to add the title, and I'm going to add the email address. Quick tip. If you want to see real quick too what data that you're passing, simply select your visual that you've created for your Power Automate, convert it to a table. That's the data that I am sending over to my flow, and then you can quickly convert it back. And I'm going to come back to that with a couple of gotchas to be aware of. So next step is let's go ahead and now we have to go ahead and edit the flow. Edit our button. So I go ahead and hit edit. Now, what this is doing is it's actually moving us over to Power Automate directly in Power BI. You can actually access the flow from your Power Automate platform itself. But right now, we can do everything we want right here in Power BI Desktop. So what it's going to do is I've already got a bunch of flows that I've created. And the one that I did as an example is right here. But let's create a new one. So just go up here to new, instant cloud flow, and it's going to automatically assign the Power BI button being clicked as the trigger. And now we just need to add the next step. So I'll go here. Now, what I need to do is find my action. So everything after this first step here is an action. And you'll see here actions. So right up above here, these are all of your connectors. So these are the connectors that you're going to be connecting to. That could be SharePoint. It could be Teams. It could be, in our case, I want the Office 365 Outlook. You'll see others here. There is just many connectors. If I look at the standard ones, you're going to see all these connectors. So the ones I want, easy way to find it is I know that I want an email. So mine is Outlook and it's Office 365. I'll go ahead and do that. And it's going to give me all of the actions for that connector. Now, I could have also just searched before, and I could have actually searched for the connector, which in this case is send an email version 2. So I'm going to go ahead and select that. There are a bunch of other actions to check out, but in this case, this is what we want. Now, I'm going to get to the 2. I'm going to skip that for last. Let me do the subject line. And actually, this is where you'll see that these 3 items are required. I need to provide who it's going to, what's the subject and the body. I'm going to do the subject first. And what I want is I want it to say need information for project. And I want to fill in the name of the project here. So you're going to see this dynamic content. And what it makes available is those fields. Now these fields will come standard, but then what you're going to see is here's the 3 that I've added. The name, the title, and the email. The title is what I want because that's the name of my project. Now, the minute I select that, you'll see that it automatically wrapped that step in an apply to each. What's happening is because when I push that button, there could be multiple rows of data. It's going to go through each of those rows of data individually, and then whatever actions are within this container, it will do. So, I mean, think about it. If I'm selecting, 10 rows, it's going to go through each step and send an email 10 times. So that's why it automatically wraps this into an apply to each. So it's already done there. It's already, it's added it and it's there. Let me go to the body. So, and again, I'll get back to the email here in a second. The body is, let's say I want to say dear, and I want the full name. So again, I go down here into the dynamic content, scroll down. There it is. My comma, please provide an update for a project. And again, I want the title again, so I'm just going to choose that. Now, in my case, because I'm using, I do have an email address, but that's because that's just some fake emails. I'm not actually going to include it up here in the 2. I could go ahead in the 2 here and put the email, but I don't want to do that because, of course, I'm not going to be able to see it. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and send it directly to my email address, just so that you can see it. But if I really wanted to send it to the actual email, so actual email should be, and I'll just add this field in so you'd see it. I would go ahead and actually put it up here. And if I go ahead and click on this, I should be able to get some dynamic content. Oops. Let me go ahead and do this. I could. Here it is, the add dynamic content. Again, I would normally do that. But because I don't want to do that, I'm just going to go ahead and remove it and just send it to me. This way we can make sure it works. So let's go ahead and give this a name. I'll call this an email version 2. I'll click save. Now, other thing to remember, make sure every time you've saved it, as long as there's no errors, if there are any errors, it'll prompt you. If otherwise, make sure to hit save and apply. Otherwise, you will not have actually applied the flow to your button, and you'll get this green confirmation. And I can either go here, or I'll go back to my report, and let's just go ahead and do that. And there it is. There's the flow. It's ready to go. One more thing. Let's go ahead and change the text so it doesn't say run flow. I'll go up into the formatting, button text, and then do send email. And there it is. So let's test it real quick. Let's select one. I'll hold control because I am Power BI desktop. I'll hold the control key and I'll trigger it because this is just like any standard button. And it is triggered. Let's jump over to my email and there it is. And there it was. There's the name, there's the project, and then that would be the actual email I could use. So as you can see, in about 10 minutes or 5 minutes, how easy it was to go ahead and create that these automatic emails by using Power Automate directly from your Power BI report. So I want to highlight some areas to be aware of when you are creating these flows to be triggered directly from your Power BI report. The first one is when triggering a flow, there is no confirmation. And let me show you what I mean by that. So I'm going to jump back to my report. Here's the one report I wanted. Let's say I wanted to send just this one to the first individual. And because I'm in a rush, I accidentally click the button and do it. It's going to send it to all of these because there's no confirmation pop-up box that says, are you sure you want to proceed? So just be aware, by default, when you create this flow button, once you triggered, the flow is triggered. And I'm going to create a second video, probably in the next, my next video will be a couple of tips on that, just so that this video is not very extremely long. So point number one, no confirmation. So be aware of that. Second one, this is one of my most important ones to take away. Be aware of what data is being sent to your flow. So I'm going to go ahead and flip back to this. Now, let's say, again, this is the one that will always, always, always trip you up. So be aware of it. And it has happened to me. I have this table here of data, and this is only 7 names. Let me go ahead and let's clear this filter. You're going to see all of these names, these projects, because they have different statuses. Now, let's say I only want to send it to projects that are in process, right? So I go here, in process, I'm filtering, this slicer is interacting with this table. That slicer is also interacting with the button. So all of the data, all of this is being interacted with. But let's say I clear this out and I go into here, into my table alone here, and I say, you know what, I only want this table to only show my in process. So let's say I don't even have a slicer. And instead of using a slicer, I go up to my filters and I change this table to say project status is, let's just say in process. Great. I'm happy. I hit send email. And I'm thinking, oh, great, I've only sent about 10 emails now. Well, lo and behold, what I've actually done is just sent an email to every single person on my list. Reason being is the filter I just applied, I applied it on this visual only. It is not applied to here. And I can just hear in my, hear the beeps going off of emails that are being sent. So a quick way to show you a comparison is, let me go ahead and click on this button. If I go ahead and let me expand this button and I turn this into a table, here is the actual data that is there, because that filter is only applied here. Now, if I applied the filter here, we'd be good to go. So be aware of the data that is being sent to your flows. The best way to do it, again, convert your flow button to a table visual. It'll show you that, and then move it back to your button. I will reformat that. So that was a quick and easy way to create a flow using Power Automate to send automated emails. In my next video, I'm going to dig deeper into this and show some other examples, including how to format the emails better. I'm going to show a way that I use to create like this confirmation box and a couple of other little tricks with regards to this to make this easier to use. So stay tuned. And if you like this, again, please subscribe. And thank you for watching.